What's up? What's up? What's up? I am outside. I'm downtown Springfield, and I was gonna sit over there where I usually sit when I come down here, but there is no sun over there, and so I'm on the steps of City Hall. No legal stuff going on. I just found a great space where the sun is literally shining down on me. You know, it's my best light, the light that God made Himself, sunlight. And I got my phone posted up here a couple of minutes, literally, because I need to get up the street within the next hour or within the hour to get my baby from school. So with that being said, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's windy, but the weather's warm. It's nice. Um, Let me see. I got my little dress. My little winter dress is long sleeve, but it's windy. So what's up? Happy Thursday. I hope that you're enjoying the beautiful weather wherever you are. And I hope that you're having an amazing day full of mega, mind blowing, miraculous miracles. I had something really interesting happen to me today. I do every single day. I spent most of the day at the library, and then I walked from the library to downtown. And I've had some bracelets. I forget, they're called wishlets. And you put them around your wrist and you write down these affirmations and things that you want to happen based on each color of the wristlet. Like some represent energy and abundance and love, things like that. I did this at the beginning of the year, and then you wrap them around your wrist, and then as they fall off, hopefully you lose them in certain places where you can't pick them up again. But mine specifically, energy and love, when they fell off, they were in the house in the space that I was in. Everywhere else I lost outside, and then I've come across them, and I didn't remember where I put them. And then yesterday I was cleaning out my bag, and I found them. So I was like, oh, where can I get rid of these? I want to put them in water, like a river or some kind of flow. And so I thought about this fountain that's down here, because at this fountain I had thrown. I did a wish maybe about a month ago, and I tried to throw it into the still water and it flew into the flowing water. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Anyways, I walked down from the library today because I was like, oh, I could throw them into this fountain. So I came, I said a prayer over it, I kissed them, and I threw them. And I and at this fountain there's a sculpture. It has a hawk on top, which is interesting because yesterday I seen two hawks. One on my way to get my daughter to school, and then when we got to the house yesterday, there was one literally sitting on the 40. No way, and there's two number 40s. I'm sorry, I just got so distracted. That's the sign. Anywho, it was right on the light pole outside my window. And I look out that window every day, all day when we're there. And I never see hawks just posted up there. So then I had to go outside and look at. I'm like, what is the odds of me seeing two hawks in one day? Then I come down to this fountain that I said a prayer at before. And ironically, it has a hawk at the top of it. So, anyways, I threw my wishlets in there. And I was just staring down at them floating. It came out of the middle part because I threw it into the middle because I want my energy to always remain balanced and neutral. So it stayed both slowly floating out and over to the flow. And then somebody called my name, and it was my good friend. It's so windy, yo. My phone has fallen over several times. It was a good friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time. And his name happens to be, yo, the wind is disrespectful. His name happens to be Lord. So I was like, no way. I just said a prayer and then I see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. So we were chopping it up, shooting the ish. And then I came over here. Quick story. before I get into my message today, my India talk. Yes, I have a dream of going on the Wheel of Fortune, the show. I've had it since I was a kid. And when you gotta go on the Wheel of Fortune, you have to pay your own. What the heck? Just to audition, you have to pay your own way to go all the way to California or San Diego, wherever they're located at now. And you have to like pay for your trip, your your hotel, your stay, all that, just to audition. And last night on my phone, I came across that Wheel of Fortune is doing auditions now, but they're doing virtual in-home auditions. You don't have to leave your home. You can audition. I was playing. You got there's a thing on the application where you could practice auditioning. I mean, like practice in real time, like how the audition would go. So I'm like, no way that you could apply to be on the show and you don't have to leave your home. You can do the virtual. So before I got on live, it just took me like 10 tries. So I was getting so irritated by people walking in my video, even though I know this is a very popular walking place in City Hall. It took me 10 times to do a 1 minute video because there was just a lot going on. But I did it. I'm going to submit it. So it's a quick application. You write stuff down. You submit your picture. I need to take a picture. And you have to submit a video. So I'm applying to be a contestant on the Wheel of Fortune. So please wish me luck. It's my favorite show. I'm so amazing with words and guessing the puzzles. And when I watch them, I'm screaming at the screen now on my phone, like, damn, I need to be on the show because I'm smart as fuck. I'm not these people. I guess these puzzles quick. So we'll see what happens. Anywho, that was pretty much my day today. And I'm hungry, but I don't think I'll be able to find anything to eat. I wanted to briefly talk about what's up to all the people that joined. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the engagement. I wanted to talk about in my description for my title of my India talk. I'll get better with putting them in the actual title, but for right now, they're just in the descriptions. Is to develop a new perspective on your existing experiences. And I wanted to use my experience of this year, God putting me on public transportation, aka the city bus, which I cried, and it was really a humbling experience. And I thought that it would be worse than what it actually is. I've met the most phenomenal people on the bus. I've seen a lot. Today I documented. I don't know what it is, yo. Every time I get on live, there's a lot of noise going on. I'm like, what? I hate it. It drives me nuts. Anywho, embrace your experiences around you. The bus has been, I've had a lot of teachable moments from taking the bus, okay? And today I was called to write down, I just wrote down the topics, but I'm doing bus chronicles. I don't know if I'll like make a blog or make a video series about my experiences so far of being on the bus this year. Yo, that's driving me nuts. And back it up. Hurry up. Yo, I was hit by a car when I was 11 years old, and continuous beeping drives me insane, yo. Something happened to my brain when I got hit by a car. And ever since then, I can't take this beeping, yo. What the fuck? Turn it off. This is why I left the medical field, and this is so distracting, but I'm just gonna push through it because I don't have time. Oh, they're taking a fucking basketball court. Oh my gosh. Excuse me, what does your sweatshirt say? I love that. His sweatshirt says God taught me. Okay, I can focus for a second. So I'm gonna do something with it. I just jotted down all of the titles or episodes to my breast chronicles if I do something with it or not. 40. There's my third 40. Anywho, I feel like it was last week because I brung it up. I'm sitting on my tippy toes. Why? I brung it up last week that it just dawned on me when I was on the bus the other day with my daughter. The bus has big windows. And I'm always staring out of them every time that I'm on them, but I'm always living in my future and living in manifestation and all that stuff, or thinking about things that happen to me throughout the day. Last week, for whatever reason, I'm like, the bus is aligning me and prepping my daughter to be on the train. I've been dying to take a cross country train ride on one of those luxury train rides where it goes cross country and you do a lot of sightseeing and you get off and you be in different cities and towns and states and you go and see things and then you get back on, because it's something I've been talking about for like the past 2 3 years that I wanted to do with the family that I'm trying to create. And it was being shunned upon, or trying to say that my daughter wouldn't be able to do it, like limiting it and putting all these restrictions on it and trying to rebuke my dreams and stuff that I wanted to do. So many things I wanted to do. But I'm just using me now being on the bus as an example that it just pondered on me that this is prepping, this is aligning, it's prepping my daughter, it's prepping me to be in enclosed spaces and accept being on public transportation and accept the path that God is putting me on. Because I think I'm just going to elevate and do, I am going to elevate and do the things that I want to do. But if I'm not willing to do the free stuff, if I'm not willing to subject myself to public transportation or remove whatever stigma or obstacles that I put in front of it, God's not going to allow and align me to do the things that I want to do with my daughter. And then also, my daughter has needed this preparation because she can sit for long periods of time. But like, if I'm going to do a cross country train ride, and the way that we have to commute on two different buses, this is prepping and aligning her. That's why I was trying on my own strength, on my own merit last year, I want to say, to get her on a bus. But I was trying to get her on a bus so that she could just pull the string down, because she had liked watching that on, those cartoons when it's like the wheels on the bus go around her and they show the bus where you could pull the string. So I was like, oh, I want her to experience that, because at me as a mother, I work on mirroring. Mirroring is where you take things from things that you watch on TVs or shows and you experience them in real life. What's up, Bandit? You experiencing them in real life. So that's why I wanted to get her on the bus. And then I had this epiphany just last week of, no, the bus is preparing me for the train. Because also every day since the beginning of the year, when I was living on the farm, at night, every night, clockwork at 10 o'clock, I'd hear the train. And when I hear the train, I'm like a squirrel, like, the train. And I'm like, I need to be on the train. I need to get on the train. So I've heard it all year, the train. And I've been obsessed with the train and watching train videos on the luxurious train rides for the past 2 years. So hearing the train while I was up in the boonies at the beginning of the year, and then now where I'm staying at, I hear the train still every single night. And then every day that me and my daughter are waiting when we're transferring at the bus station, the train literally goes by because we're at the Union Station. People are getting off the bus and the train. I don't want to get on that type of train because those are just like typical merit transfer trains. I want to get on those luxurious trains with the big, huge open windows, and it takes you through so many different towns so that you can sightsee and have spectacular views. And then I've been doing my research on it. They have these rooms. They got like the VIP rooms or the standard rooms. I do everything VIP. So I'm gonna get a VIP room for me and my daughter. So when I'm getting on the bus, I'm constantly living in my imagination. I'm constantly living in my future. And I've removed whatever stigma I had about being on the bus and feeling like, dag. So when I had to start taking the bus in the summer, I was upset, and I was giving the credit to a man and not God. And I'm like, wow, this man has stripped me to public transportation and getting on the fucking bus. I don't want to get on the bus. I don't want to be on public transportation, especially with my daughter. How did I allow a man to strip me down to this? That's how I was viewing it at first. Since being on the bus and since meeting so many amazing people, homeless people, business people, people going to work, people going to school, there's a plethora of people from a variety of backgrounds. And me befriending everybody. Everybody knows me and my daughter there. All the bus drivers are always beeping at us and excited to see us. And when we're just sitting there or when we're walking around, people are like giving us compliments. It's almost like we're celebrities at the fucking bus station. So I was like, wow, when you embrace things and you don't look at them from the perspective of what you think put you there, because I was giving the credit to a man. I'm like, this man put me here. But it was God that put me there. Just like it was God that made me have the experience and removed me from that house, made me walk away from that house and those cars, a life that I was getting comfortable with. And then I thought that God would immediately replace me being able to have a car so that I would skip over public transportation and that I could just get my daughter back and forth to work. And I had to walk all summer, push my daughter in a stroller for a long distance to get my daughter back and forth to school in the summer just for 3 hours. And then I was like, please God, before school starts again for the new year, please, I need a car, I need a car, I need a car. And God said, no, you're gonna get on the bus. And I was like, no, I don't want to get on the bus. Because I think about fear. I think about things that people, places, and spaces put into our brains. I think about social media and how you see all these crazy things happening that people are recording when they're on the bus or, the typical subway and stuff like that. So that has not been my experience. Although today kids, there was a fight that broke out. So it was the first fight of being at the bus station. So there is always something crazy going on. Like a week ago, a lady was taking up the bathroom, but she was sleeping on the floor. So I was like, Dad, I should do bus chronicles from just the things that I see and experience, both good and bad, funny, sad, happy, all those things wrapped in one. I just embrace every single day of things that go on. And so I thought to share my experience because I use the things that happen in my life as not typical, as teachable moments as the bus goes by. And the bus is not as bad as I thought it was. I actually have learned the routes through so many mistakes of not paying attention and just thinking that if I got off the bus right here and another bus comes up in the same spot, it's going to be the same bus taking me in the same direction. And I've ended up across town because there are so many buses that go on the same route. I didn't know that. I just thought like I got on this bus here and I got dropped off here and now you're picking me up. You should be going back downtown or back in the same direction. So I've learned through mistakes, trial and error, research and development. I've learned from letting go of my expectation and embracing my experience and not having judgment, not judging people because they're homeless or they're going to work and they're on the bus or they're starting a business and they're on the bus or they're getting on the bus with their whole family and they got a shitload of kids and they're getting on the bus with all these strollers because that was me and then all these people that are getting on the bus with their bags of recycling cans trying to get to the grocery store so that they can cash them in and get a little bit of money or the people that's getting on the bus and they're drunk and they're smelling like alcohol and weed and cigarettes. I've learned to let all that go because everybody is struggling. Everybody is dealing with something. And just because somebody's getting on the bus, there's lots of people that have a car and choose to get on the bus. You want to know why? Because that bus is free 99. So some people are just like, I'm saving gas. I'm going to drive my car. Why? For what? I can get on the bus. It's free. So it's just people and their perspectives, and you cannot be judgmental. You don't know what drove people to that. You don't know if people are getting back on their feet, if their car just got repossessed. You don't know. And so I think that there's a lot of stigma with people that take the bus or ride the bus, or that may just be their only option. And so this experience has taught me to let go because God is aligning me with what I want. I don't know why other people are taking the bus. I can share things that I've learned along the way. And I don't know if they'll be taking the bus forever. I'm not going to be taking the bus forever. This is a pit stop. This is aligning me to go to my paracne. And it's also preparing my daughter to be able to enjoy and to be able to sit and be it, basically experience with sitting on a public space and looking out the windows. And my daughter likes to look out the windows and see and sightsee and people watch while we're on the bus. So she's gonna be able to do that. I'm not gonna be able to have to teach her or have these expectations or go through the trials and tribulations of her sitting for a long time when I get her on those luxurious train rides. So I wanted to share that today as my India talk to no matter what you're going through, remember that you nothing you suffer through and survive through goes wasted. It all goes to your purpose. And no matter how low you feel, life is stripping you down to nothing. It's actually, in reality, might be freeing up space and opportunities to launch you to the things that you think about or dream about or write down. I'm going to go from the bus to the train to a Lambo. I'm getting myself a Lambo and a Rolls Royce. Those are my two cars that I want for myself, and I ain't gonna be driving them. This is the other thing that the bus has taught me. And my friend drops us and picks us up from the bus stop to bring us home. The bus and my friend, and not having a car for the whole year has also put in perspective something I've been manifesting for myself, which is I want to have a chauffeur. I hate driving. I literally hate driving. I want somebody else to drive me around. And so this is another lesson that God is teaching me. You think that you're just gonna hop over here and have a Lambo and a Rolls Royce where somebody's gonna be your personal chauffeur? Well, before, if you really want that, let me see if you'll go low. Let me see if you allow me to strip you down to that life on the free 99, on the life of being dependent on other people and not in ways that you expect, not in ways that you would have not accepted when I was allowing you to have a car, have two cars in your name where you could just get in and fill up gas and go and not think about that. You think you were just going to transition from that and hop over here? No, this is the bridge in between. This is my bridge in between of allowing God to strip me down and allowing me to take the free 99 ride and allowing me to be humble, allowing me to accept help from people who's like, I can't get you all the way across town, but I could drop you off to the bus stop and I could pick you up. That's the most that I could do. Are you willing to accept that? Yes. Are you willing to accept taking 2, 3 buses and take 2 hours ahead of time to get your daughter to school and then walk a block or two? The amount of commute that I have to do and the earlier I got to get up to do these things, to accept help, free help from people that are willing to go out of their way to drop us off to the bus stop and then allow these bus drivers to pave the way. I'm telling you, you have to go through that state of humbleness and gratitude in order to get to a state of greatness. So I've been enjoying. I didn't start that way, but it quickly shifted to where I am enjoying taking the bus. I am enjoying not having to drive, not having to get gas, not having to stop at a gas station, not having to worry about car problems or motor problems, engine problems. I am enjoying that because it is allowing me to remember the journey and the struggle. I seen a quote today that says, when God blesses you with what you want, and the things that you are attracting and manifesting, don't forget when you had nothing. Don't forget when life wasn't so pleasant for you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying having a free 99 chauffeur for right now. Because when I get in that place, when I am paying a chauffeur to drive me and my daughter and whatever future kids I have around and into places and spaces and experiences, I'm gonna remember like, wow, and do you remember when you had to take that bus and you had to humble yourself and you had to accept help in ways that you didn't expect, ways that you didn't understand, what was aligning you to your new experiences. Yo, life is really funny and God is funnier. And I love that I'm documenting this so that when I get to the other side of this transition, or when somebody sees me in my Lambo, when somebody sees me in my Rolls Royce, when somebody sees me in my penthouse, you're going to remember that I had to leave everything. I had to be stripped down to nothing. I had to get on the bus. I had to accept rides. I had to do a Lyft barely. I had to do an Uber here and there because my funds low. Okay? You gotta remember when I was sitting here talking about getting on the bus, when I was sitting here talking about living on a farm, living in a trailer with me and my daughter every night. Thank God it was the summertime and not the winter time because there was no heat, no air conditioner, nothing in there. You're gonna remember me being afraid for my life, calling cops to come take me to a shelter. Look at Colord again. You're gonna remember that. So, anyways, I gotta go because I gotta get on the bus so I can get up the street and get my daughter in time, and I got less than an hour. So, with that being said, I see you again. With that being said, I'm gonna leave you with my three heartfelt messages that are near and dear to my heart, and they come directly from my life, my experience, and I hope that they provoke thoughts in your mind first and help allow you to take action in your life second. So, with that being said, number one, do not allow anyone to label you, including yourself. Those who try to label you want you to live in lack and limitation. They see something in you that they don't want you to see in yourself, which is usually your gift, the thing that is your purpose, the thing that makes you you. And they want you to live and lead with a label so that you will be limited and living in lack. And you were born to live in your purpose. So don't allow anyone to label you, including yourself. Number two, don't allow anybody to put you in a box. Don't ever, 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 ever allow anyone to put you in a box because those who try to put you in a box is simply because they cannot get out of theirs. Do you hear me? And if you allow somebody to put you in a box, they will then try to put you in a ditch. Ask me how I know. And three, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And the way you turn your life into a lifestyle is by simply taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own rescue. Because absolutely, positively, nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself. And if you take the time to tap into yourself more and out of the world less, you in return will save yourself from living the consequence. And the consequence is living the life that your parents want you to live, living the life that society tries to create for you to live in, and living the life that the school systems and the job systems try to program you to live within. You were not born to simply work a job, pay bills, and die. No, sir, no, ma'am. You were born to live your birthright, which is a life of prosperity, a life of abundance, and a life of luxury. So that's how you turn your life into a lifestyle. And if you are struggling trying to figure out what your purpose is, the simple way to figure out what your purpose is to figure out what problem you were born to solve. We were all born to solve a problem. We were all born to make the world better while we're here, more importantly, when we're not, aka your legacy. So the sooner you figure out what problem you were born to solve, the quicker your life will align to allow you to live in your purpose, your abundance, your prosperity, and that life of luxury. So, with that being said, don't forget that you are both a limited edition and an endangered species. So, start acting like it.